I that please some, try all, both joy and terror, of good and bad, that makes and unfolds error, now take upon me in the name of time, to use my wings. Imputing not a crime to me, or my swift passage, that I slide o'er 16 years, and leave the growth untried of that wide gap, since it is in my power to o'erthrow law, and in one self-born hour to plant an o'erwhelmed custom. Let me pass the same I am, ere ancients' order was, or what is now received. I witness to the times that brought them in. So shall I do to the freshest things now reigning, and make stale the glistering of this present, as my tale now seems to it. Your patience this allowing, I turn my glass, and give my scene such growing as you had slept between. Leontes leaving, the effects of his fond jealousies so grieving that he shuts up himself. Imagine me, gentle spectators, that I may now be in fair Bohemia. And remember well, I mentioned the son of the kings, which Florizel I now name to you. And with speed so pace, to speak of Perdita, now grown in grace, equal with wondering. What of her ensues, I list not prophecy, but let time's news be known when 'tis brought forth. A shepherd's daughter, and what to her adheres, which follows after, is the argument of time. Of this allow, if ever you have spent time worse ere now. If never, yet that time himself doth say, he wishes earnestly you never may.
I pray thee, good Camilla, be not so importunate. 'Tis a 69 anything, a death that rather this. It is 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part been abroad, I desire to lay my bones. Besides, the penitent king, my master, has sent, to whose feeling sorrows I might be some allay, or so I all mean to think, which is another spur to my departure.
As thou lovest me, Camillo, why wilt thou the rest of thy service by leaving me now? Need I have of thee thy own goodness is meant? Better not to have had thee than less I want thee. Of that fatal country Sicilia, prithee speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of that most penitent, as thou callest him, and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his most precious wife and children should even now be afresh lamented. Since when sawest last the Prince Florizel, my son? Kings are no less unhappy their issue not being gracious than they are in losing them when they have approved their virtues.
So it is 3 days since I saw the prince. What his happier affairs may be are to me unknown. But I have missingly noted he is of late much retired from court, and is less frequent to his princely duties than formerly he had appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care, so far as I have eyes under my service, which look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence, that he is seldom from their house, or a most homely shepherd. A man, they say, that from a very nothing, and beyond the imagination of his neighbours, has grown into an unspeakable estate.
I have heard of such a man, who had a daughter of most rare note. The report of her is extended more than you thought to begin from such a cottage.
This is likewise part of my intelligence. But I fear the anger that plucks our son thither. You will accompany me to that place, where, not appearing as we are, we shall have some questions with that shepherd.
I willingly obey your command.
My best Camillo. Come, we must disguise ourselves.
daffodils begin to clear with hay, the doxy o'er the dale. Why then comes in the sweet of the year, for the red blood reigns in the winter's pale. The white sheep bleaching on the hedge, with hay the sweet birds are how they sing. Doth set my pug into thorn edge, for a quarter ale is a dish for a king. The lark that tira-lira chants with hey, hey, the thrush and the jay are summer songs for me and my aunts as we lie tumbling in the hay. I have served Prince Florizel, and in my time walked the repile, but now I'm out of service. But why should I mourn for that, my dear? The pale moon shines by night, and when I wander here and there, I then do most go right. If tinkers may have leave to live and bear the Southskin budget, then my account I may well give, and in the stocks of vouching. My traffic is sheets, when the kite bills look to lesser linen. My father named me Autolycus, who, being as I am, littered under Mercury, was likewise a snapper up of unconsidered trifles. With dye and damp I purchased this comparison, and my revenue is the silly cheap. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway. Beating and hanging are terrors to me. For the life to come, I sleep out the thought of it. Oh, a prize. A prize.
Now, let me see. Every leaven were the tods, and every tod yields pound and odd shilling. 1,500 shorn, what comes the wool to?
If the spring holds, the cock's mine.
Oh, I can't do it without counters. Let me see. Oh, what am I to buy for the sheep shearing thief? £5 of currants, yeah. £3 of sugar, rice. Rice? What is this sister of mine to do with rice? But our father has made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on. She's made me 4 and 20 nosegays for the sheep shearers, 3 songmen all, and good ones. Most of them are mean and basic, but one Puritan amongst them. He sings psalms to hornpipes. Oh, I must buy saffron to colour the warden pie, mace, dates, none, that's out of my note. Race or 2 of ginger, nutmegs, 7. Oh, but that I may beg for 4 pounds of prunes and as many raisins of the sun.
Oh, that I was ever born.
What in the name of me?
Oh, help me. Help me. Pluck but off these rags and then death. Death!
That's the soul. Well, thou hast more need of rags to lay on thee than these have off.
Oh, sir, the loathsomeness of them offends me more than the stripes I have received, which are mighty ones and millions.
Oh, alas, 1,000,000 beatings. That would come to a great matter.
Oh, I am robbed, sir, and beaten, my money and apparel taken from me, and these detestable things put upon me.
Oh, what, by a horseman or a footman?
A footman, sweet sir, a footman.
Indeed it be a footman. If this be a horseman's jacket, it seems very hot service. Come, I'll help thee. Let me thy hand.
Oh, God, sir, tenderly. Oh, I fear my shoulder blade is out.
Oh, alas. How's now?
Softly, good sir. Good sir. Softly. You have done me a charitable office.
Dost thou lack any money? I have a little money for thee.
Oh, no, good sir. No, sweet face, sir. I have a kinsman not past 3/4 of a mile hence unto whom I was going. I shall there have money or anything I desire. Offer me no money, I pray you. That kills my heart.
What manner of fellow was he that robbed you?
Fellow, sir, I've known go round with troll my dames. I once knew him, sir, a servant of the prince. I cannot tell for which of his virtues it was, but he was certainly whipped out of court.
His vices, you would say. There's no virtue being whipped out of the court. They cherish to make it stay there, and it will do no more but abide.
Vices, I should say, sir. I know this man well. He has since been an aid bearer, then a process server, then he compassed the motion of the prodigal son and married a tinker's wife within a mile where my land of living lies. And then, having flown over many knavish professions, he settled only in rogue. Some call him Autolycus.
Out upon him! Prig! For my life, prig! He whores in wakes and fairs and bear baitings.
He, sir, he. That's the rogue that put me in this apparel.
Oh, not a more cowardly rogue in all of Bohemia. If you'd have just looked big and spit at him, he'd have run.
I must confess to you, sir, I'm no fighter. I'm faint of heart that way, and that he knew. I warrant him.
Oh, how do you now?
Much better, sir. I can stand and walk. I will even take my leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsman.
Shall I go with you along the way?
Oh, no, good place, sir. No, sweet sir.
Then fare thee well. I must go by spices for our sheep shearing.
Prosper you, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing too. And if I make not this trip bring out another, and the shearers prove sheep, well then let me be unrolled, and my name put into the book of virtue. Jog on the footpath way, and merrily head the stiver. A merry heart goes all the day, your sad tires in a miler.
These your unusual weeds, to each part of you do give a life. No shepherdess, but Flora, peering in April's front. This, your sheep shearing, is as a meeting of the petty gods, and you the queen of it.
Sir, my gracious lord, to chide at your extremes, it not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I name it. Your high self, the gracious monarch of the land, you have obscured with a swain's wearing, and me, poor lowly maid, most goddess like pranked out. But that our feast in every mess have folly, and the feeders digested for the custom. I should blush to see you so attired. Swoon, I think, to show myself a glad.
I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across thy father's ground.
Now Jove afford your cause, to me the different sport is dread. Your greatness hath not been used to fear. Even now I tremble to think your father, by some accident, should pass this way, as you did. Oh, the fates! How would he look to see his work so noble, vilely bound up? What would he say? And how should I, in these my borrowed thorns, behold the sternness of his presence?
Apprehend nothing but jollity, since my desires run not before mine honour, nor my lusts burn hotter than my faith.
Oh, but sir, your resolution cannot hold when it is fought as it must be, by the power of the king. One of these two must be necessity. Which then must be? That you must change this purpose, or I my life.
Oh, dearest Perdita, with these forced thoughts, I prithee darken not the mirth of the feast. Or I'll be thine, my fair, or not my father's. Or I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any if I be not thine. To this I am most constant, though destiny say no. Be merry, gentle. Strangle such thoughts as these with anything that you behold the while. Your guests are coming. Lift up your countenance, as it were the day of celebration of that nuptial which we two have sworn shall come.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious.
See, your guests approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be red with mirth.
Hi, Doctor. When my old wife lived on this day, she'd be called pantler, butler and cook, called dame and servant, welcomed all, served all, for she'd sing her song and dance her turn, first here at operating table and then down there by middle. Her face afire with labour, and the things she took to quench it. She would to each one sip, you are retired, as if you were the feasted one and not the hostess of the meeting. Pray, bid our unknown friends welcome to us. It is a way to make us better friends, more known. Come, quench your blushes, present yourself that which you are, mistress of the feast. Come on, bid us welcome to your sheep shearing as your good flock shall prosper.
So welcome. 'Tis my father's will I should take up you the hostessship of the day. You're welcome, sir. Hand me those flowers there, Dorcas. Reverend sir, for you there is rosary and rue. These keep seething in savour all winter long. Grace and remembrance be to you both, and welcome to our shearing.
Shepherdess, fair one are you. How well you match our ages with your flowers of winter.
Sir, the year growing ancient, not yet on summer's death, nor on the trembling birth of winter. The fairest flowers of the season are our carnations and street-gillable, or nature's basket. At this time my rustic garden is barren, and I care not to get service of them.
Wherefore, sweet maid, do you neglect them?
For I have heard it said, there is an art in which their pipers sheds great creative nature.
Say there be. But you see, sweet maid, we marry the gentlest silence of the wildest stock, and may conceive a bark of baser kind by bud of nobler race. This is an art which does mend nature, change it rather, but the art itself is nature.
So it is.
Then make your garden rich with hellebores, and do not call them part.
I'll not put the diligently out to set one slip of it. No more than, were I painted, I would wish this youth to say to well, and only therefore desire to breathe on. Here's light for you. Hot lavender, mint, savoury, marjoram, the marigold that goes to bed with the sun, and winter rises weekly. These are flowers of middle summer, and I believe they are given to men of middle age. You're very welcome.
I should leave grazing where I have your flock, and only live by gazing.
Out alas, you'd be so lean that Placid January would go through. Now, my fairest friend, I would I had some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day, and yours, that wear upon your virgin branches yet your maidenheads growing. Pale primroses, bold oxlips, and the crown imperial, lilies of all kinds, the flower de luce being one. Oh, these I like to make in garlands of, my sweet friend, and strew 'em o'er and over.
What? Like a corpse?
No, like a bank for love to lie in place. Not like a corpse, or not to be buried but quick, and in mine arms. Come, take your flowers. Methinks I play as I have seen them do in wits and pastorals. Sure, this robe of mine does change my disposition.
What you do still betters what is done. When you speak, sweet, I'd have you do it ever. When you sing, I'd have you buy and sell so give alms, pray so, and for the ordering your affairs, to sing them too. When you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea that you might ever do nothing but that. Still so, and oh, no other function. Each you're doing, so singular in each particular, crowns what you are doing in the pleasant deeds, that all your acts are queen.
Oh, Dorothy, Your praises are too large, but that your youth and the true blood which peeps fairly through it do have you out an unstained shepherd. With wisdom I might fear my Dorothy. You wooed me with falsehood.
I think you have as little skill to fear it as I have purpose to put you to it. But from your hand, our dance, I pray, my predator, so turtles pair that never mean to part.
I'll swear for him.
The prettiest young lass around the Greek school. I think she does perceive must matter something greater than herself. Too noble for this place.
This was something that makes her blood look out. Good sooth, she is the queen of Curtain Green.
Come on, strike up.
Lots of mass for your mistress. Marry garlic to mend her kissing ring.
Now in good time.
Not a word, a word. We stand upon our manners. Come, strike up.
They call him Doricles, and he boasts himself to have a worthy feeling, and whether I have it on his own account, and I believe it, he looks like Sue. He says he loves my daughter, and I think it's so, for ne'er gaze the moon on the waters, he'll stand and read as to my daughter's eyes. But to be plain, I think there's no more than half a kiss to choose who loves another better.
She dances featly.
Oh, she does anything. Though I report it, I should be silent. For if young Doricles do light upon her, she shall bring him that which he not dreams of.
Master, master! You see the kid of Pedro at the door. You would never again dance after the paper and pipe. No, the bagpipes would not move you. He sings several songs, faster than you would tell me. He utters them as he had eaten ballads, and all men's ears go to his tunes.
He could not have come better. What? Oh, I love a ballad, mate, but even too well. If it be a doleful matter, merrily set down, or a very pleasant thing indeed, and sung lamentably.
Yes, songs for men and women of all sizes. Noblemen and nobles so fit his customers with lust. And he has the prettiest of love songs for maids, so without bawdry, which is strange. Oh, with such delicate burdens of dildos and fadings. Jump round, and where some struck-mouthed rascal would, as it were, mean mischief, and break a foul gap in the matter, he makes the maid to say, "Whoops, do me no harm, good man." He slights him, puts him off with, "Whoops, do me no harm, good man."
This is a brave fellow.
Prithee, bring him in, and let him approach singing.
Forewarn him to use no scurrilous words in his tune.
Oh, you have of these peddlers that have more in them than you'd think, sister.
Aye, good brother, or go about to think.
The Lord was white as driven snow, cypress black as air was grown, gloves as sweet as damask roses, masks for faces and for noses. You perfume for a lady's chamber, golden coifs and stomachers, for my lads to give their dears, pins and walking sticks of steel. What makes lack from head to heel? Come buy of me, come buy, come buy. Come lads, or else your lasses cry, come buy.
If I was not in love with Mopsa, then thou should take no money off me. For being as enthralled as I am, it will be the certain bondage of ribbons and gloves.
I was promised them before the feast, but they come not too late now.
He has promised you more than that, or there be liars.
He has paid you all he promised you, or perhaps he's paid you more, which would shame you to give him again.
Is there no manner left among maids? Will they wear their blankets where they should bear their faces? Is there not milking time? When you're going to bed or kiln home, that you can whistle me secrets, but you must be tittle-tattling in front of our guests. 'Tis well they are whispering. Clamour your tongues, and not a word more.
Come, I have done. You promised me a tawdry lace and a pair of sweet gloves.
Have I not told you how I was cousined along the way and lost my money?
Indeed, sir, for there are cousins abroad, and therefore it behoves men to be wary.
Oh, fear not thou, man. Thou shalt lose nothing here.
Oh, I hope so, sir, for I have about me many parcels of charge.
What hast here? Ballads?
Oh, pray now, my son. I love a ballad of friends. Alive,
But then we are sure they are true.
Here's one to a very doleful tune of how a usurer's wife was brought to bed of 20 money bags at a time, and how she longed to eat adders' heads and toads carbonadoed.
is it true, think you?
Very true, and but a month old.
Bless me for marrying the usurer.
Here's the midwife's name to it, one Mistress Tailporter, and 5 or 6 other honest wives that were present. Why should I carry lies abroad?
Pray you now buy it.
Come, lay it by. First we'll see more ballads. We'll buy the other things and all.
Here's another ballad of a fish that appeared upon the coast on Wednesday, the 40th of April, 40,000 fathom above water, and sang this song against the hard hearts of maids. 'Tis thought she was a woman who was turned into a cold fish, for she would not exchange flesh with one who loved her. The ballad is very pitiful and as true.
Is it true, think you?
5 justices' hands at it, and more witnesses than my pack will hold.
Lay it by. Another.
Here's a very pretty tune, but a merry one.
Let's have a merry one.
Here's a passing merry tune that goes to the tune of 2 maids wooing a man. There's scarce a maid westward but she sings it. 'Tis in request, I can tell you.
Well, we can both sing it. Thou shalt hear it if thou bear part. It's in 3 parts.
We had a tune on a month ago.
I can bear my part. You must know 'tis my occupation. Have at it with you. Get you hence, for I must go where it fits you not to know.
We'll have that on out by ourselves. My father and the gentleman who sat all, so we'll not bother them. Come, bring that back along behind me. Wenches, I'll buy for you both. Peddler, let's have the first choice. Follow me, girls.
And you shall pay well for it. Will you buy any tape, any lace for your cape? My dainty duck, my dearer, any silk, any thread, any toys for your head, of the newest and finest wearer. Come to the pedlar, money's a meddler, that doth utter all men's wearer.
This is not too far gone. It is time to part. He simply tells much. Now, fair shepherd, your heart is full of something which does take your mind off feasting. Sooth, when I was young and handed love as you do, I was wont to fill my she with knacks. I would have ransacked the peddler's silver treasury to have poured into her acceptance. You let him go. Nothing martyred with him. If your lass interpretation should abuse and call this your lack of love or bounty, you take it for a reply. You should make a happy care of holding her.
Old sir, I know she prizes not such trifles as these are. The gifts she looks from me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I have given already, but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who it should seem hath some time loved. I take your hand, this hand as soft as dove's down, and as white as it.
What follows this? How quickly the young swain washes her hand as was fair before. I have put you out, but to your protestation let me hear what you profess.
Do, and be witness to it.
Well, my neighbour too?
And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens, and all, that were I crowned the most imperial monarch, thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swerve, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love. For her employ them all, commend them and condemn them to her service or to their own perdition.
Fairly offered. This shows a sound affection.
But my daughter, say you the like to him.
I cannot speak so well, nothing so well, nor me better. By the pattern of mine own thoughts, I cut out the purity of him.
Take hands, a bargain. And friends unknown, you shall bear witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and shall make her portion equal his.
Oh, that must be the virtue of your daughter. One being dead, I shall have more than you can dream of yet. Enough then for your wonder. But come on, contract us for these witnesses.
Your hand, and daughter yours.
A fresh rate! A while, I beseech you. You a father?
I have, but what of him?
Knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father at the nuptial of his son should be a guest that best becomes the table. Pray you once more, does your father become incapable of reasonable affairs? Has he grown stupid with age and altering rooms? Can he speak? Hear? No man from man? Dispute his own estate? Lies he not bedrid and does nothing more he did being charmed?
No, good sir, he has his health, and ampler strength indeed than most have of his age.
By my white beard, you do him a wrong if this be so. Something unfilial. Reason my son should choose himself a wife, but reason, the father, all whose joy is fair posterity, should have some counsel in such a business.
I yield all this, but for some other reasons, my grave sir, which 'tis not fit, you know. I not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
He shall not.
Prithee, let him.
No, he must not.
Let him, my son, for he shall not need to grieve at knowing of thy choice.
Come, he must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whose son I may not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged, thou sceptre's heir that does infect the sheep's hook. And thou, false traitor, I am sorry that by hanging thee I come short of thy life 1 week. And thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft,
who by force must know the royal fool thou off with,
My God.
I'll have thy beauty statuary bride and made more homely than thy state.
And thee, fond boy, if ever thou so much as sighs,
For evermore shalt seek this knack, as never I mean thou shalt. I'll bar thee from succession. Not hold thee of our blood, no, not our kin, far than do plainly enough. Mark now my words.
follow us to court that churl. For that this time, though full of our displeasure, we free thee of the dead blow of it. And thou, enchantment, ever thou thy rural latches to his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embrace. I will devise a death so cruel for thee, as thou art tender to it.
Even here, undone, I was not much afeard. For once or twice I was about to speak and tell him plainly that the self-same sun that shines on his court hides not his visage from our cottage, but looks on alive. Will it please you, sir, be gone? I told you what will come of this. For your own state take care. This dream of mine, being now awake, I'll queen it no inch farther, but learn my views and weep.
Why, how now, father? Speak ere thou diest.
I cannot speak, nor think, nor dare to know that which I know. Oh, sir, you have undone a man of 83 that thought to fill his grave in quiet. Yeah, to die upon the bed my father died, and to lay close by his honest bones. But now, some hangman will put me in my shroud and lay me where no priest shovels in dust. Cursed wretch, thou knew this was the prince, but wouldst adventure to mingle faith with him. Undone, undone. If I might die within this hour, I'd have lived to die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeard, delayed, but nothing altered. What I was, I am. More strained on for plucking back, not following my leash unwillingly.
Gracious my lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech which I do guess you do not purpose to him. And as hardly will he endure the sight of you as yet I fear. Then till the fury of his highness settle, come not before.
I not purpose it. I think, Camilla.
Even he, my lord.
How often have I told you 'twould be thus? How often said my dignity would last, but till it were known?
You look up. For my succession wipe me further, and heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am, and by my fancy, if my reason will thereto be obedient, I have reason. If not, sense is better pleased with matters to bid it welcome.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it, but it does fulfill my vow. I needs must think it honesty. Not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat glean. For all the sun sees, or the close earth wounds, or the profound sea hides in unknown fathoms, will I break my oath to this, my fair beloved. Therefore, as you have ever been my father's honoured friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him any more, cast your good counsels upon his passion. Let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know, and so deliver. I am put to sea with her whom here I cannot hold on shore.
My lord, I would your spirit were easier or stronger for your need.
I've heard it. I'll hear you by and by.
He's irremovable. Resolved for flight. Now were I happy if his going I could frame to serve my turn. Save him from danger, do him love and honour, and purchase the sight again of my dear Cecilia, and that unhappy king my master whom I so much thirst to see.
Now, good Camillo, I am so fraught with curious business, I leave out the ceremony.
Sir, I think you have heard of my poor services in the love that I have borne your heart.
Very nobly have you deserved. It is my father's music to speak your deeds. Much little of his care to have the recompense as thought of.
Well, my lord, if it may please you to think I love the king, and through him what's nearest to him, which is your gracious self, embrace but my direction. I'll appoint you where you shall have such receiving as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, from whom I see there's no disjunction to be made except by, as heaven defend, your ruin. Marry her, and with my best endeavours in your absence, your discontenting father, strive to qualify and bring him up to liking. Have you thought of a place whereto you'll go?
Not any yet, but as the unthought on accident is guilty to what we wildly do, so we profess ourselves to be the slaves of chance, and flies of every wind that blows.
Then this follows. Listen to me. If you will not change your purpose, but undergo this flight, make for Sicilia, and there present yourself and your fair princess, so I see she must be. For Leontine.
Worthy Camillo, what colour for my visitation shall I hold up before him?
Sent by the king your father to greet him and give him comfort, huh?
I am bound to you. There is some sap in this.
Of course, more promising than a wild dedication of yourselves to unpathed waters, undrenched shores. Most certain the misery is enough. No hope to help you, but as you cast off one to take another. Nothing so certain as your anchors, who do their best office if they can but hold you where you'll be loath to be. Besides, you know, prosperity is the very bond of love. And fresh complexion and heart together, affliction alters.
My good Camillo, she is as forward in her breeding as she is in the rear of our birth.
I cannot say it is pity she lacks instruction, for she seems a mistress to most that teach.
Your pardon, sir, for this our blessed thanks.
My prettiest perfect of the thoughts we stand upon. Good Camillo, preserver of my father, now of me, the medicine of our house, how shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia.
Fear none of this. I think you know, my lord, that my fortunes do all lie there. It shall be so my care to have you royally appointed, as if the scene you play were mine. For instance, they know you shall not want one word.
What a fool honesty is. And trust his sworn brother, a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpery, not a counterfeit stone, not a ribbon, glass, pomander, brooch, table book, ballad, knife, tape, glove, shoe tie, bracelet, horn ring, to keep my pack from fasting. They throng who should buy first, as if my trinkets had been hallowed and brought benediction to the buyer, by which means I saw whose purse was best in picture. And what I saw, to my good use I remembered. My clown, who wants nothing but to be a reasonable man, grew so in love with the wench's song that he would not stir his pettitoes until he had both tune and words, which so drew the rest of the herdsmen that all their senses stuck in their ears. You might have pinched a placket, it was senseless. 'Twas nothing to geld a codpiece of a purse I could have filed keys off that hung in chains. No hearing, no feeling, just my sir's song and admiring the nothing of it. So that in this time of lethargy I picked and cut most of their festival purses, and had not the old man come in with a hubbub against his daughter and the king's son, and so scared my chuffs from the chaff, I'd have not left the purse alive in the whole army.
Ah, who have we here? We have made an instrument of this, amid nothing may give us aid.
They've overheard me now, why hanging?
How now, good fellow? Why shakes thou so? Fear not, man, here's no harm intended to thee.
I am a poor fellow, sir.
Be so still. There's no one to steal that property. Yet, for the outside of that property, we must make an exchange. Therefore, discase thee instantly. Thou must think there's a necessity in it, and exchange garments with this gentleman. If anyone on his side be the worst, yet hold me, there's some movement.
I am a poor fellow, sir. I know you well enough.
He dispatched the gentleman's heart blade already.
Are you in earnest, sir? I smell the trick on
Dispatch, I prithee.
I have had earnest, sir, but I cannot in all conscience take it.
Unbuckle! Unbuckle! Fortunate mistress, let my prophecy come home to you. Now, you must muffle your face. You must dismantle yourself. And, if you can, you must disliken the truth of your own seeming. You may, for I do fear eyes over, to shipboard get undescribed.
I see the place so lies that I must bear my part.
No remedy. Are you done then?
Oh, should I now meet my father, he would not call me son.
Come, lady, come. Farewell, then, sir.
Adieu, sir.
Oh, Perdita, what have you twain forgot?
What I do now will be to tell the king of their escape and whither they are bound. Wherein my hope is I shall so prevail to force him after. Being induced company, I shall review Sicilia, for whose side I have a woman's longing.
Fortune speed us! Thus we set on, Camillo, to the seaside.
The swifter speed the better.
I understand the business. I hear it. To have an open eye, a quick ear and a nimble hand is necessary for a cut purse. A good nose is requisite too, to sniff out work for the other senses. I see this is the time that the unjust man doth thrive. Well, what exchange this has been without boot? What boot is here with this exchange? Oh, surely the gods this year do connive at us, and we may do anything extempore. The prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his clog at his heels. If I thought it a piece of honesty to acquaint the king withal, I would not do it. I consider it the more knavery to conceal it, and thereby I am constant to my profession. All aside is all matter for a hot brainer. Every lane's end, every church, shop, hanging, session, he was a careful man at work.
See what man you are now. There's no other way but to tell the king that she's a changeling and none of your flesh and blood.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
Go on.
She, being none of your flesh and blood, your flesh and blood has not offended the king, so your flesh and blood shall not be punished by him. Show those secret things that you found about her, all that she had with her, but what she has with her now. This being done, let the law go whistle. I warrant you.
I shall tell the king all, every word, yea, and of his son's pranks too, who is, I may say, no honest man, neither to his father nor to me, to go about to make me as the king's brother-in-law.
Indeed, brother-in-law was the farthest off you could have been, and your blood would have been dearer by how much? I know, an ounce.
Very wisely, puppies.
Less to the palace, there is that in this fardel box shall make the king scratch his beard.
I know not what impediment this may be to the flight of my master.
Pray heartily that he be at the palace.
Though I'm not naturally honest, I am so sometimes, by chance. Let me pocket up my peddler's excrement. How now, rustics, whither are you bound?
To the palace it like your worship.
Your affairs there, what, with whom, the condition of that fardel, your names, ages, of what having, breeding, and anything else that is fitting to be known, discover.
We are but plain fellows.
A lie, you are rough and hairy. Let me have no lie, we become none but traitors. And they often give us soldiers the lie, but we pay them for it with stamped coin, not stabbing steel. Therefore, they do not give us the lie.
We would have liked to have given you one, sir, if you had not taken yourself with the manner.
Are you a courtier, and it like you, sir?
Whether it like me or no, I am a courtier. Seest thou not the air of the court in these unfoldings? Hath not my gait in it the measure of the court? Receives not thy nose court odour from me? Reflect I not on thy baseness court contempt? Thinkest thou that I insinuate or toast from thee thy business? I am therefore no courtier. I am courtier cap a pay, and one that will either push forward or pluck back thy business there. Wherefore I command thee to open thy affair.
My business, sir, is to the king.
And what advocate hast thou to him?
I know not to him.
Advocate is the court's word for pheasant. Say you have not.
None, sir. I am no pheasant, cock, nor hen.
How blessed are we that are not simple men. Yet nature has made me as these are, therefore I will not disdain.
This cannot be but a great courtier.
His garments are rich, but he wears them not handsomely.
He's more noble in being fantastic. A great man. I'll warrant it. I can tell by the pickings on teeth.
The father, what's in the father there? Wherefore that box?
Well, there lies such secrets, sir, in this father box, which none but the king shall know, and which he shall know within the hour, if I may come to the speech of him.
Age, thou hast lost thy labour.
Why, sir?
The king is not at the palace. He has gone aboard a new ship to purge melancholy and air himself. For thou must know, if thou be capable of things serious, that the king is full of grief.
Aye, sir, so 'tis said about his son that should have married a shepherd's daughter.
If that shepherd be not in handfast, let him fly. The curses he shall feel, the tortures he shall bear, shall break the back of man, the heart of monster.
Think you so, sir?
And not he alone shall suffer. What wits can make heavy and vengeance bitter. But those that are germane to him though remove 50 times shall all come under the hangman. Which though it be a great pity, yet it is necessary. An old sheep whistling rogue, a ram tender, to offer to have his daughter come into grace. Some say he should be stoned, but that death is too easy for him, say I. Draw our throne into a sheep cut, all deaths are too few, the sharpest too easy.
Has the old man ever a son, sir? Like you, sir?
He has a son. Who shall be flayed alive, then anointed over with honey and set on the head of a wasp's nest, till he be 3 quarters and a drop dead, then recovered with that vitae or some other hot infusion, and then, in the hottest day that prognostication proclaims, shall he be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, wherefore he is to behold him with flies blown to death. But what talk we of these traitorly rascals, whose miseries are to be smiled at, their offences being so capital? Tell me, if you appear to be plain, honest men, what business you have to the king? Being gently considered, I'll bring you to where he is abroad. Tender your persons to his presence, whisper him in your behalf, and if it be in man besides the king to effect your suits, here is the man to do it.
He seems to be of great authority. Close with him, give him the gold. Remember, stoned and flayed alive.
If it please your worship, here is the gold that I have. If you want to undertake the business for us, and I'll make it as much more, and leave this young man in pawn till I bring it you.
After I've done what I've promised?
Aye, sir.
Give me the moiety. Are you a party in this matter?
In some sort, sir. But though my case be a pitiful one, I hope not to be flayed out of it.
No, that's the case of the shepherd's son. Hang him. He'll be made an example.
Comfort. Good comfort. We must to the king and tell him of our findings, that she's none of your daughter nor my sister, and we be gone out. Sir, I will give man does when the business is performed, and will remain, as he says, your pawn till it be brought to you.
I will trust you. Go along towards the seaside, keep on the right hand. I will but look upon the hedge and follow you.
We are blessed in this man, as I may say, even blessed.
Let's before as he bids us. He was provided to bring us good.
If I had a mind to be honest, I see fortune would not suffer. She drops booties in my mouth. Here I am courted with a double occasion, gold, and the means to do the prince my master good, which he knows how that might turn out to my advancement. I'll bring these two moles, these blind ones, abroad him. If he think he fit to shore them again, and that the complaint they have to the king concerns him not, well, let him call me rogue for being so far officious, for I'm proof against that title, and what shame else belongs to it. To him shall I bring them. There may be matter in it.
Indeed, paid down more penitence than done trespass. At the last, do as the heavens have done. Forget your evil. With them, forgive yourself.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much. But airless it hath made my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that e'er man bred his hopes out of.
True, too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, and from the all that are took something good to make the perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so. But that strikes me sorely to say I did. It is as bitter upon thy tongue as in my thought. Now, good now. Say so, etc.
Not at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those would have him wed again.
If you would not so, you pity not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name. Consider little what dangers by his highness fair of issue may drop upon his kingdom and devour in certain lookers on. What were more holy than to rejoice the former queen is well? What holier than for royalty's repair, for present comfort, and for future good, to bless the bed of majesty again with a sweet fellow to it?
There is none worthy respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes. Oh, has not the divine Apollo said, it's not the tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? And not for the issue, the crown will find an heir. Great Alexander left his to the worthiest, so his successor was like to be the best.
Oh, Pauline, who has the memory of Hermione, I know, in honour,
Oh, that ever I had squared me to thy counsels. Then even now I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips,
and left them more rich for what they yielded. Were I the ghost that walked, I'd bid you mark her eye, and tell me for what dull part in it you chose her. Then I'd shriek that even your ears should rift to hear me, and the words that followed should be, remember mine.
Stars, stars, and all eyes else, dead coals. Fear thou no wife, I'll have no wife, Paulina.
Will you swear never to marry but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina. So be blessed, my spirit.
Then, good my lords, bear witness to this oath.
You tempt him over much.
Unless another, as like Hermione as is her picture, affronts his eye.
Good madam.
Enough I have done. If my lord wills, if he wills, no remedy but you will. Grant me the office to choose you a queen. She shall not be as young as was your former, but she shall be such as ought your first queen's wife. She will take joy to see you in her eyes.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That shall be when your first queen's again in breath, never till then.
My lord, one that gives out himself Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess, fair is not yet beheld, desires access to your high presence.
What with him? His approach, so out of circumstance and sudden, tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. What trouble?
But few and those but me.
His princess send with him.
Aye, the most peerless piece of earth I think that the sun ever shall rise on.
Go, Cleomenes, yourself assisted with your honoured friends, bring them to our embracement. Still, 'tis strange he thus should steal upon us.
And our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he compared well with this young prince. There was not a full month between their births.
Prithee no. Cease. Thou knowest he dies to us again when talked of. Sure, when I shall see this gentleman, thy speeches will bring me to consider that which may unfurnish me of wisdom. They are come. Thy mother was most true to wedlock, Prince, for she did print your royal father off, conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hit in you, his very heir, that I would call you brother, and speak of something wildly by us performed before. Most dearly welcome. And your fair princess, goddess. Oh, alas, I lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth might thus have stood, begetting wonder, as you, most gracious couple, do. And then I lost all my own folly, the society, amity too of your good father, whom, though bearing misery, I desire once more to look upon him.
By his command have I here touched Cecilia, and from him give you all greetings to the king, that friend can send his brother, whom he loves. He bade me say so, more than all the scepters and those that bear him living.
Oh, my brother, good Jacob, the wrongs that I have done thee stir afresh within me, and these thy offices, so rarely kind, are as interpreters to my behindhand slackness. Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth, and hath he too exposed this arrogant to the dreadful usage, at least ungentle, of the fearful Neptune, to greet a man not worth her pains, much less the adventure of her person.
Good, my lord. We have crossed to execute the charge my father gave me for visiting your highness. My best train I have from your Sicilian shores dismissed, who for Bohemia bend, to signify not only my success in Libya, sir, but my arrival and my wife's in safety here, where we are.
The blessed gods purge all infection from our air while you do climate here. You have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin, for which the gods, taking angry note, have left me issues. But your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it, with you, worthy his goodness. What might I have been, had I a son and daughter now have looked on such goodly things as you?
Most noble sir, that which I shall report will bear no credit, were not the proof so nigh, which Prince of Bohemia reached from himself by me, desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where's Bohemia? Speak!
Here in your city, sir. I now came from you. I speak amazingly, and it becomes my marvel and my message. To your court whilst he was hastening in the chase of this fair couple, we see along the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo has betrayed me, whose honour and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
They so to his charge. He's with the king, your father.
Camillo!
Camillo, sir, I spake to him, who now has these poor men in question. Never saw I wretches. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves each time they speak. Bohemia shuts his ears and threatens them with diverse deaths in death.
Oh, my poor father! The heaven has set spies upon us. We'll not have our contract celebrated.
You are married.
We are not, sir. Nor are we like to be. The stars I see will kiss the valleys first. The odds for high and lows alike.
My lord, is this the daughter of a king?
She is, when once she is my wife.
That once, I see, by your good father's speed, will come on very slowly. I am sorry, most sorry, that you have broken from his liking, where you were tied in duty, and as sorry that your choice is not so rich in worth as beauty, that you might well enjoy her.
Dear, look up. Though fortune, visible an enemy, should chase us with my father, power no jot hath she to change our loves. Beseech you, sir, remember since you owed no more to time than I do now. At thought of such affection, step forth mine advocate. At your request, my father will grant precious things as trifles.
Would he do so? I beg your precious mistress, which he counts but a trifle.
Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much youth in't. Not a full month before your queen died, she was more worth such gazes than what you look on now.
I thought of her, even as these looks I made. But your petition is yet unanswered. I will to your father. Your honour not o'erthrown by your desires, I am friend to them and you, upon which errand I now go toward. Therefore follow me, and mark what way I make. Come. Good, my lord.
Beseech you, sir, were you present at this relation?
I was by at the opening of the farm. Heard the old shepherd deliver the manor house, whereupon, after a little amazedness, we were all climbed out of the chamber. Only this. He thought I heard the shepherd say he found a child.
Would most gladly know the issue of it.
I make a broken delivery of the business, but the changes I received from the king and Camilla were very notes of admiration. There was speech in their tones, language in their very gesture. Here's a gentleman that happily knows more. The news, sir.
Nothing but bonfires. The oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. Such a deal of wonder is broken out within this hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it. Here's the Lady Paulina's steward. He can give you more. How goes it now, sir? This news, which is called true, is so like an old tale that the verity of it is in strong suspicion. Has the king found his heir?
Most true. If ever truth were pregnant by circumstance, that which you hear you'll swear, you see. There is such unity in the proofs. The mantle of Queen Hermione's, her jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it, which they know to be his character, the majesty of the creature in resemblance of the mother, and the affection of nobleness which nature shows above her breeding, and many other evidences proclaim her, with all certainty, to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No.
Then you have lost a sight which was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There might you have beheld one joy crown another. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter. But as if that joy were now become a loss, cries, "Oh, my mother, thy mother!" But then he asks Bohemia for forgiveness. Then embraces his son-in-law. Then again, where is he, his daughter, with clipping her? Now he thanks the shepherd, which stands by like a weathered bitter conduit of many kings' reigns. I have never heard of another such encounter, which lays report to follow it, and does description to do it.
What pray you became of Antigonus that carried hence the child?
He was torn to pieces with a bear. This about is the shepherd's son, who has not only his innocence, which seems much to justify him, but a ring and a handkerchief of his that Paulina knows.
What became of his bark and his followers?
Wrecked the same instant of their master's death, and in the view of the shepherd. But oh, the noble combat that twixt joy and sorrow was fought in Paulina. She had one eye declined for the loss of her husband, yet another elevated that the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the earth, and so locked her in her embracing, as if she were to pin her to her heart, that she might no more be in danger of losing.
The dignity of this act preserved the audience of kings and princes, for by such was enacted.
One of the prettiest touches of all was when at the relation to the queen's death, how attentiveness wounded his daughter, till, from one sign of knowledge to another, she did, with an alliance, I would fain say, bleed tears, for I am sure my heart wept blood.
Are they returned to the court?
No. The princess hearing of the mother's statue, a piece newly performed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano, he, so near to Hermione, hath done Hermione, that they say one would speak with her, and stand in hope of an answer. Thither, with all greediness of affection are they gone, and there they intend to sup.
I thought she had some great matter there in hand, because she hath privately, twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that removed house. Shall we thither, and with our company, peace the rejoicing?
Who would be thence that has the benefit of access? Let's along.
Now, had I not a dash of my former life in me, would prefer it drop on my head. I brought the old man and his son aboard the Prince, told him I had heard him talk of a fardel and I know not what. But 'tis all one to me, for had I been the finder out of such secrets, it would not have relished amongst my other discredits. Ah, here come those that I have done good to against my will, already appearing in the first blossoms of their fortune.
Come, boy, I'm past more children, but thy sons and daughters will all be gentlemen born.
Ha! You are well met, sir. You denied to fight with me this other day, because I was no gentleman born. See you these clothes? Say you see them not, and think you still no gentleman born. Give me the lie. Do! You may best say these robes are not gentlemen born.
I know you are now, sir, a gentleman born.
Aye, and have been so these all 4 hours.
And so have I, boy.
So you have. But I was born a gentleman before my father. For the king's son took me by the hand and called me brother. And then the 2 kings called my father brother. And then the prince, my brother, and the princess, my sister, called my father and so we wept. And these were the first like gentlemen tears that ever we shed.
We may live so to shed many more.
Aye, or else we're hard luck, being in such preposterous state as we are.
I humbly beseech you, sir, to forgive me the wrongs I've committed to your worship, and to give your good report to the prince, my master.
Prithee, son, do, for we must be gentle. Now we are gentlemen.
Will you amend your life?
Aye, and it like your worship.
Then give me your hand. I will swear to the king there are no more noble man in all of Bohemia.
Well, you may say it, but not swear it.
Not swear it, now I am a gentleman born. Ha! Let Walls and Franklin say it. I'll swear it. Ah! The kings and the princes! Our kindred. Our kindred. I'm going to see the Queen's Winter. Come follow us. We'll be your good masters.
This is the statue.
Oh, brave and good Pauline, the great comfort I have had of thee.
What sovereign sir, I did not well, I meant well. All my services you have paid home.
Pauline, we honour you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your gallery have we passed through, not without much content in many singularities. But we saw not that which my daughter came to look on, the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness, I do well believe, excels. Whatever yet you looked upon, or hand of man hath done. Therefore, I keep it lonely, apart. But here it is. Prepare to see the life as lively mocked as ever still sleep mocked death. Behold, and say 'tis well. I like your silence. It the more shows off your wonder. But yet speak first, you my liege. Comes it not something near?
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed thou art Hermione. Or rather, thou art she in thy not chiding. For she was as tender as infancy and grace. Yet Paulina, Hermione was not so much wrinkled, not so aged as this seems.
Oh, not by much.
So much the more our carver's excellence, which lets go by some 16 years, and makes as she lived now.
As now she might have done. So much to my good comfort as it is piercing to my soul. Oh, thus she stood, even with such life of majesty, warm life, as now it coldly stands. When first I wooed her, I am ashamed. Doth not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it? O royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty, which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and from thy admiring daughter took the spirits, standing like stone with thee.
Then give me leave, and do not say it is superstition, that I kneel and then implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen, that ended when I but began. Oh, give me that hand of yours to kiss.
Oh, patience. The statue is but newly fixed. The colour's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away. So many suns dry. Scarce any joy did ever so long live, nor sorrow but did kill itself much sooner.
My brother, let he that was the cause of this have power to take up so much grief from you, as he would peace up with himself.
Indeed, my lord, if I had thought the sight of my poor image would thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine, I'd not have showed it.
Do not draw the curtain.
No longer shall you gaze on it, lest your fancy may think anon it moves.
Would that I were dead, but that methinks already. What was he that made it? Say, my lord, would you not deem it breathed, and that those veins did verily bear blood?
Masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her lip.
The fixture of her eye has motion in it, as we are mocked with eye.
I'll draw the curtain. My lord is so far transported, he'll think anon it lives.
Let me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of this madness. Let it alone.
I'm sorry, sir, I have thus far stirred you. But I could afflict you further.
Do, Paulina, for this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Still methinks there is an air comes from her. What fine chisel could ever yet cut bread? Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Oh, good my lord, forbear. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it, stain your own with oily painting. Shall I draw the curtain?
Not these 20 years together.
So long could I stand by and look her on.
Either forbear, quit presently this chapel, or else resolve you for more amazement. If you can behold it, I'll make the statue move indeed, descend and take you by the hand. But then you'll think, which I protest against, I am assisted by wicked powers.
What you can make her do, I am content to look on. What to speak, I am content to hear. For 'tis as easy to make her speak as move.
It is required you do awake your faith, then all stand still, or those that think it is unlawful business I am about, let them depart.
Proceed. No foot shall stir.
Music, awake her, strike! 'Tis time. Descend. Be stone no more. Approach. Strike all that look upon with wonder. Come, stir. Nay, come away. Bequeath to death your numbness. when she was young you wooed her. Is she in age become the suitor?
She's warm. If this be magic, let it be an art as lawful as eating.
She embraces him. She hangs about his neck. She pertain to life. Let her speak too. Aye. Let me manifest where she has lived. How stolen from the dead.
That she is living, were it but told you, would be hooted at as an old tale. But it appears she lives, and yet she speak not. Mark a little while. Pray you, dear madam, to interpose. Kneel, and beg your mother's blessing. Turn, good lady. Our predator is found.
Oh, you gods! Look down, and from your sacred vials pour forth your graces upon my daughter's head. Oh, tell me, mine own, where hast thou been preserved, where lived? How found my father's house? For thou shalt hear that I, knowing from Paulina the oracle gave hope thou wast in thee, hath preserved myself to see the issue.
There's time enough for that, lest they desire upon this bush to trouble your joys with like relation. Go together, you precious winners all. Your exaltation partake to each one. I, an old turtle, will wing me to some withered bough, and there my mate is never to be found again. Lament till I am lost.
Oh, peace, Paulina, thou shouldst a husband take by my consent, as I by thine a wife. You have found mine, but how is to be questioned. For I saw her, as I thought, dead, and in vain set many a prayer upon her grave. I'll not seek far, for him I partly know is mine, to find thee an honourable husband. Come, Camilla, and take her by the hand, whose worth and honesty is richly noted, and here justified by us, a pair of kings. Let's from this place. What? Look upon my brother, both your blessings, that ere I put between your holy looks my ill suspicion. This, your son-in-law, and son unto the king, whom heaven's directing, is troth plight to your daughter. Good Paulina, lead us from hence, that we may leisurely each one demand and answer to his part performed in this wide gap of time, since first we were dissevered. Hasten, lead away.